Have you ever sensed something was off about someone? Like an invisible weight in the air, a subtle feeling of unease, as if their presence drained the energy from the room. You can't quite explain it, but deep down, you know that something's wrong. It's like a sixth sense, that unspoken instinct that picks up on the hidden currents beneath the surface. You can't see it, but you feel it, like the air has suddenly thickened, or a chill has crept in. It might seem irrational at first, but once you start noticing it, you begin to wonder if that nagging feeling is trying to tell you something. Sometimes it's not something overt or obvious, like a glaring act of hostility. Instead, it's more subtle, like a flicker in their eyes or a pause in their words. Tiny, fleeting moments that leave you unsettled. And despite all logic telling you to brush it off, there's this inner voice warning you to be cautious, to protect your space, to stay alert. You start to question, am I overreacting? Or am I picking up on something others aren't? We all encounter people who put on a mask, people who wear smiles, speak with charm, and initially appear friendly. But if we're being honest with ourselves, not all smiles are genuine, and not all friendly gestures are from a place of kindness. It's easy to get caught up in the facade, to dismiss those gut feelings as paranoia or overthinking. But what if those feelings aren't as random as we think? What if they are clues, signals from a deeper awareness, alerting us to the presence of something darker, something manipulative, toxic, or even malicious? The truth is, evil doesn't always announce itself with a villainous sneer or a dramatic entrance. It doesn't always come with a loud warning. Often, it's quiet, insidious, creeping in through the small cracks of everyday interactions. But here's the silver lining. If we pay close attention, evil leaves behind clues, subtle signs hidden in plain sight, waiting to be recognized. And the good news is, once we know what to look for, we can protect ourselves. We can set boundaries, trust our instincts, and reclaim our peace. This isn't just about avoiding harm. It's about preserving your mental and emotional well-being and safeguarding the most important thing you have, your peace of mind. If you've ever felt that something was off but couldn't quite put your finger on it, this video is for you. Let's take a closer look at some of the red flags that could indicate you're dealing with a toxic, manipulative person. The more aware you are, the better you can defend yourself from those who thrive on draining your energy and peace. Let's dive into the signs you shouldn't ignore. Evil doesn't always arrive with a snarl or a villain's mask. It rarely announces itself. Instead, it wears a smile, speaks with charm, and often appears helpful at first. These people don't need a reason to harm you. They do it because it is their nature. They manipulate, deceive, and control, not through force, but through the slow erosion of your confidence, your peace, and even your perception of reality. In Stoicism, we are taught to guard our minds and spirits, to recognize what is within our control. One of the most important skills in life is learning to identify those who mean us harm before they get too close. Evil is rarely obvious until it's too late. But here's the good news. Evil leaves clues. There are clear warning signs, red flags, that, if you pay attention, will reveal the truth about a person's character. Recognizing these signs can protect not just your peace, but your very sense of self. In this video, I'll walk you through 6 powerful red flags that expose toxic, manipulative individuals around you. Learn these, and you won't just avoid pain, you'll reclaim your strength. Before we dive in, if you're ready to protect your peace and elevate your mindset, consider subscribing. Now, let's get into it. Red flag 1. They constantly lie or manipulate the truth. Truth is the foundation of trust, and without it, relationships crumble. But an evil person has no regard for truth, not because they need to lie, but because they want to. Deception is not just a tool for them, it is a way of life. They lie to manipulate, to control, and to keep you uncertain, questioning what is real and what is not. At first, their lies may seem harmless, a small exaggeration here, a slight distortion there. But over time, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. One day, they tell you something with full confidence, only to deny it later when confronted. If you push back, they act offended, accusing you of misremembering, being too sensitive, or even making things up. Slowly, doubt creeps in. Maybe you misheard. Maybe you're overthinking. That's the trap. A truly malicious liar doesn't just deceive, they reshape reality. They gaslight, twisting events so that you start second-guessing your own memory and instincts. One moment, you're certain of the truth. The next, you're lost in a fog of confusion. This is by design. A confused mind is an easy mind to control. Reflect on the times they could have told the truth but didn't. Moments where honesty cost them nothing, yet they chose deception. Why? Because to them, lying isn't about avoiding trouble. It's about power. They lie to create an advantage, to test boundaries, and to see how much they can get away with. They fabricate stories, twist words, and distort facts, not because they must, but because they can. The most unsettling part, they never feel guilt. A Stoic understands that clarity of mind is essential for a life of virtue. If someone constantly manipulates the truth, they are not just dishonest, they are dangerous. Every interaction with them becomes a game, a mental battlefield where you're left exhausted, drained, and unsure of what's real. But you don't have to play. If someone in your life fits this pattern, don't dismiss it as a bad habit or minor flaw. It's a red flag waving right in front of you. The longer you tolerate their deceit, the more control they gain over your thoughts, your emotions, and your sense of reality. So ask yourself, are you constantly questioning your own perception around them? Do you feel uneasy, like something is always off? If the answer is yes, step back, protect your mind, and most importantly, trust your instincts. An evil person will never hand you the truth. It's up to you to see it for yourself. Red flag 2. They love conflict. A surefire sign you're dealing with someone whose intentions are far from virtuous is their unyielding devotion to discord. While most people strive for harmony, preferring to address disputes with kindness, or at least maintain a respectful distance from turmoil, these conflict-loving personalities are magnetically drawn to chaos, much like a moth spiraling toward a flame. They sow seeds of disharmony quietly, orchestrating drama around them as if it were a grand theatrical production, and they delight in every performance. In the spirit of the Stoic philosophers, we learn that external events, like conflict, are often beyond our control. Yet our response, our inner discipline, and our tranquility remain ours to govern. These conflict enthusiasts aim to dismantle precisely that sense of inner stability. They thrive on drama, feeding on the tension it creates, and stand ever ready to nurture misunderstanding. Sometimes they need no real motive. Causing chaos is reason enough. The swirl of arguments, the rise in anxieties. These are their trophies, evidence of their twisted craftsmanship. Consider how they operate, planting tiny doubts in your mind about others or stirring up old resentments. They may feign innocence, but in truth, they're the architects of strife. These individuals rarely accept responsibility for their actions. If confronted, they might paint themselves as the hapless victim. I don't know why everyone else is overreacting. I was just speaking the truth. In truth, their tactics are deliberate, targeting every delicate fault line they can exploit. The most alarming aspect of these provocateurs is their utter disregard for empathy. They see no inherent worth in harmony or human connection. Instead, they feed on the negative energy conflict provides, relishing every tear shed and every friendship weakened. Stirring trouble is entertainment to them, a reminder that they wield influence over others' emotions through intentional drama. Your best strategy: uphold the boundaries of your inner peace. If you sense someone in your orbit perpetually steers conversations toward confrontation or manipulates situations to pit people against each other, view this as the warning it truly is. Red flag 3. They make you feel like you're always at fault. A mind in doubt is a mind that can be controlled. Evil people understand this well, And that's why they use one of the most insidious forms of manipulation: gaslighting. They don't need chains or threats to control you, just a steady erosion of your confidence. They want you to question your own reality until you rely on them to tell you what's true. At first, it's subtle. You express frustration, and they tell you you're overreacting. You recall an event differently, and they insist that it never happened. You bring up something hurtful they said, and they scoff, calling you too sensitive. Over time, you begin to second-guess yourself. Did you really misunderstand? Are you being too emotional? That's exactly what they want you to believe. A person who truly cares will listen, even if they disagree. But an evil person doesn't seek understanding. They seek dominance. Their goal is to make you feel unstable, uncertain, and ultimately dependent on them for validation. If someone constantly makes you feel like you're the problem, dismisses your emotions, or distorts your reality, take it as a warning. You don't owe your loyalty to someone who poisons your sense of self. Stand firm. Trust your perception. You are not crazy. You are not overreacting. And you do not need their permission to believe in your own reality. Red flag 4. They play the victim in every situation. Life is full of challenges, and hardship spares no one. A strong person faces difficulties with resilience, taking responsibility for their choices. But an evil person wears their victimhood like armor, shielding themselves from accountability, while using it as a weapon against others. To them, nothing is ever their fault. They blame the world, their past, the people around them, anyone but themselves. When things go wrong, they don't reflect or grow. They point fingers. And worse, they expect you to buy into their sob story, to feel sorry for them, to excuse their behavior because, after all, they've had it so hard. At first, this may seem like harmless self-pity, but over time, you'll notice the pattern. Their problems never improve, no matter how much you help. Their misfortunes always seem exaggerated. Their suffering is always worse than anyone else's. They drain you emotionally, using your empathy as a leash to keep you tethered to their never-ending cycle of misery. If you dare to hold them accountable or set a boundary, they'll turn the tables instantly. How could you do this to me? You're the one hurting me. Suddenly, you're the villain. Their failure to change becomes your fault. Red flag 5. They constantly criticize you, but never acknowledge your successes. There is a particular kind of poison that doesn't kill you outright, but weakens you over time. Constant, unrelenting criticism. It doesn't come in the form of direct attacks or outright insults. Instead, it seeps into your mind through small, carefully placed comments, always pointing out what you lack, never what you achieve. An evil person will rarely celebrate your victories. If you succeed, they'll downplay it. If you improve, they'll shift the goalpost. If you dare to feel proud of yourself, they'll be there to remind you of everything you could have done better. Red flag 6. They display no empathy or compassion. If there is one trait that separates the virtuous from the wicked, it's empathy. The ability to share in another's joy, to feel another's pain, to recognize the humanity in those around us. This is what binds people together. But an evil person feels nothing. Not for you, not for anyone. Their indifference is chilling. You could be suffering, breaking under grief, facing personal loss, and they'll stand there, unmoved. If they acknowledge your pain at all, it's with cold detachment. Well, life's unfair. Or worse, they'll twist the moment to make it about themselves. A person without empathy is not simply emotionally distant. They are dangerous. If they cannot care about your pain, they will have no hesitation in causing it. I know this may feel overwhelming. Recognizing these red flags isn't always easy, especially when emotions are involved. But understanding these signs can save you from years of pain, manipulation, and self-doubt. Evil doesn't always come with a warning. It slips into your life unnoticed, chipping away at your confidence, your peace, and your sense of self. But here's the truth. You don't owe your energy to those who drain you. The moment you recognize these patterns, you have a choice to step back, protect yourself, and reclaim your power. Even if it's difficult, even if it means walking away from someone you once trusted. Remember, your peace is worth more than their presence. If this video resonated with you, I want to hear your thoughts. Have you ever encountered someone like this? How did you handle it? Or are you still navigating that situation? Share your story in the comments. You never know who might need to hear it. And if you're on a journey of self-growth and self-protection, make sure to subscribe. This isn't just about identifying the red flags in others. This is about you too. It's about learning how to protect your energy, build unshakable resilience, and cultivate a mindset that doesn't just survive, but thrives. The road to emotional and mental strength isn't always easy, but it's worth every step. You deserve to be around people who lift you up, who empower you, and who genuinely care for your well-being. By subscribing, you're not just signing up for more content. You're committing to a deeper understanding of how to protect your peace, recognize toxicity, and create healthy boundaries in your life. Life has a way of throwing challenges our way, but with the right tools and awareness, we can handle anything that comes our way. Together, we can create a community that thrives on empathy, resilience, and strength, where self-care isn't a luxury, but a necessity. There's so much more to explore: how to spot manipulation, how to rise above negativity, how to reclaim your power from toxic relationships, and how to set boundaries that actually stick. These aren't just tips, they're life-changing practices that will help you build a foundation of mental and emotional strength that can withstand anything life throws your way. This journey of self-growth is not a destination, but a continuous process, one that requires patience, awareness, and a willingness to trust your instincts, even when it feels like the world is trying to drown them out. Until next time, take care of your heart, guard your mind, and always trust your instincts. Your peace is priceless, and you are more than capable of maintaining it. Keep building, keep growing, and keep protecting your energy, because you are worth it. Remember, the power to create the life you want lies in your hands. So, keep moving forward with confidence, knowing that you are in control.